immediate past chairman, Professor Ramana Naik, council members, past chairman, past honorary secretaries, members of Telangana State Center Committee, corporate members of Telangana State Center, distinguished guests, family members of Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao, representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I feel it is a great privilege and honor to be among this august gathering and extend a warm welcome and hearty welcome to the chief guest, guest of honor, and all of you to this Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao 32nd Endowment Lecture. Today I am very happy to be associated with this memorable event. I deem it a great privilege to extend a hearty welcome to all of you on behalf of the Institution of Engineers for the lecture on significance of metro rail system in Indian metropolitan cities. I wish to inform this elite audience about Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao, FIE. On the recommendation of a committee of hosts consisting of senior officers of Road and Buildings Department, Westwhile AP, with Engineer V. Raghavan, FIE, former Engineer-in-Chief R&B as convener, Engineer Mohammad Karimullah Khan, FIE, former ENC, and the Westwhile AP State Center of IEI has resolved in the year 1991 to organize an endowment lecture in the memory of late Koka Krishna Mohan Rao Garu every year on his birthday, that is 23rd April. In pursuance of the resolution, the Westwhile AP State Center and present Telangana State Center has so far organized endowment lectures by persons of high eminence. I take this opportunity to say a few words about our engineer veteran, Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao Garu, FIE. The late Sri Koka Krishna Mohan Rao, born on 23rd April 1924, and his school education in Noble School and intermediate in Loyola College. He obtained BE degree from Gindi Engineering College, Madras. He joined District Board in 1944 as assistant engineer. He worked as deputy chief engineer for 4 years and promoted to the post of superintendent engineer, headquarters circle R&B, and served there for 5 years. He was elevated to the post of chief engineer, PWD, roads and buildings and administration in the year 1973 and retired in the year 1979. Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao breathed his last on 15th June 1990. Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao had combined in himself the rare qualities of high order of integrity and also strived hard to uphold the dignity of engineering profession. I am glad to inform that the Telangana State Center of the Institution of Engineers, India has been regularly organizing 18 endowment lectures every year on the birthdays in the honor of eminent engineers like Engineer V. Subbarao Endowment Lecture, Engineer M. Tirupati Reddy Endowment Lecture, Dr. J. Purushottam Endowment Lecture, Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao Endowment Lecture, Engineer G. V. Subbarao Endowment Lecture, Engineer T. Hanumantrao Endowment Lecture, Engineer A. P. Ranganatha Swami Endowment Lecture, Dr. S. Raghavachari Endowment Lecture, Dr. Narla Tatarao Endowment Lecture, Engineer Matur Gopal Rao Endowment Lecture, Engineer Gurram Kotireddy Endowment Lecture, Engineer Atluri Venkateshwar Rao Endowment Lecture, Dr. J. A. Murray, and Dr. N.V.R.L.N. Rao Endowment Lectures, and Engineers L. Venkatakrishna Iyer, Engineer K.V. Srinivas Rao, and M.L. Swami Endowment Lecture, Dr. A. Ramakrishna Endowment Lecture, and Engineer Basavaraju Endowment Lecture. The endowment lectures are being delivered by the engineers are professionals of high eminence with a considerable professional experience to throw light on important emerging topics of today's relevance. Telangana State Center has instituted an award for Best R&D Engineer for his outstanding contribution in the field of civil engineering. R&D department in the name of late Sri K. Suryanarayan Raju Garu, Executive Engineer retired. This award will be presented during Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao Endowment Lecture on 23rd April every year in the memory of Sri K. Suryanarayan Raju. He retired since the year 2015. The proposal was sponsored by Dr. I.S.N. Raju, FIE, the present council member and past chairman of APSC, and the State Center Committee agreed in the year 2014. The award was started from 23rd April 2015. This year, late Sri K. Suryanarayan Raju EE Retired Award 2022 will be presented to Engineer D. Shyam Kumar, FIE, Superintending Engineer, Telangana State Public Works Department, Roads and Building, Government of Telangana, for Best R&B Engineer for his outstanding contribution in the field of civil engineering. R&B Department in the name of late Sri K. Suryanarayan Raju, EE, retired. Today, Telangana State Center arranged Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao 32nd Endowment Lecture on significance of metro rail system in Indian metropolitan cities. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of the Institution of Engineers India and on my own behalf, I once again extend a hearty welcome to the Chief Guest, Dr. Kumar Mulugaram, FIE, Professor and Director, Regional Center for Urban and Environmental Studies, Usmania University, and Guest of Honor, P.P. Ravindra Rao, FIE, Engineer in Chief, State Road and CRN Roads and Buildings Department, Government of Telangana, and all of you to this important event. Before I proceed to request Dr. Kumar, FIE, I request today's convener of the event, Engineer B. Prashant, AMIE, Committee Member of Telangana State Center, to kindly introduce today's chief guest. And over to Prashant. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving a brief about Engineer Koka Krishna Mohan Rao Garu, and also very good evening to the chairman and today's chief guest, Chairman Brahmareddy Garu, today's chief guest, Professor M. Kumar sir, and immediate past chairman Ramana Garu, and other members, Shyam Prasad Reddy sir, and our joint honorary secretary Venkatesham sir. And it is my kind privilege to introduce today's chief guest and my professor, Professor Kumar Mulgaram sir. Professor Kumar Mulgaram obtained his bachelor degree in civil engineering from Usmania University, master's degree in civil engineering with first class from JNT. Sir, am I audible? Sir. Yeah. JNT University, and doctorate degree from Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Presently, he is serving as professor of civil engineering, UCE OU. In his career, he published over 100 research papers in various international and national journals and conferences. He supervised 86 ME dissertations and 5 PhD theses, and supervising 8 PhD students. He received prestigious Best Teacher State Award from Government of Telangana on 5/9/2018 on the occasion of Teachers' Day. He also received High Status Award Engineer of the Year 2018 from Institution of Engineers and Government of Telangana on the occasion of the Engineers' Day. He received National Integration Award 2019 from the Healthcare International Organization, India on 26 January 2019. He received Vishwesvaraya Best Faculty Award by Smart Infra Trustee of India in the month of September 2019. He was awarded for Best Paper in 2010 national level and 2014 international level. The government of Telangana appointed him as convener of TSPG set 2019 and 20. He completed 2 research projects from UGC and Government of India for a tune of rupees 35 lakhs. Recently, he received 38 lakhs worth of research projects from Sir DST, Government of India in 2019. He played a key role in start of ME Transportation Engineering 2008 in Civil Engineering Department, Osmania University. He is member of several committees of Government of Telangana, AP and Government of India. He served as Additional Controller of Exam OU, Chairman Board of Studies in Civil Engineering, Local and Global OU, Nodal Officer, TechWip 1, Phase 1, UCE, and Director of Evaluation, Exam Cell, UCE, Director of Infrastructure, OU, and Head of Civil Engineering Department, OU, Vice Principal, UCE, OU. He is Coordinator, PGA, PM, GSY, NR, RTA, Government of India since 2006. He is member of Unified Metropolitan Transport Authority, HMDA, Hyderabad, Telangana State. He is life member of several research and technical organizations such as FIE, IRC, IUT, CTRG, IIBE, WCTR, TRG East, and SRS. He visited many international cities such as London, Sydney, Singapore, San Francisco, Chicago, Rome and Capri, Melbourne, Hong Kong, Toronto, Washington, DC, and New York, Bangkok, Beijing, Shanghai, Germany, Switzerland, Paris, Netherlands, Belgium, Tokyo, Japan, Ho Chi Minh, Melbourne, and Sri Lanka recently to present his research papers in international conferences and seminars. He delivered 20 keynote lectures at various national and international platforms. He chaired 10 technical sessions at various international and national conferences. He organized several conferences and workshops on various topics during 2005 to 2020. He delivered more than 350 expert lectures in the area of transportation engineering, optimization techniques, and engineering research methodology on various national and state level platforms in India. He attended 1 week in-house 5 training programs in capacity building and leadership skills at ISB and various IIMs. He also attended MHRD Government of India's prestigious training program on leadership excellence in academic program LEAP at HCU and Monash University, Melbourne, Australia for a period of 3 weeks in February 2019. He is author of 3 conferences, proceedings, and 2 books, one in Elsewhere Publication International. Professor Kumar has over 25 years of teaching and research and consultancy and industry experience. He served as Controller of Examination, Osmania University for 2 years period and initiated many technological digital reforms in examination branch, OU during centenary year of OU. He served as Principal of prestigious University College of Engineering, Autonomous University, Hyderabad from 2018 to 2021 and initiated automation and technological reforms. The Government of Telangana appointed him as Executive Committee member for the prestigious 100-year-old legacy of Osmania University. Presently, he is working as Director, Regional Center for Urban and Economic Studies, Osmania University and Government of India. Thank you, sir. I proceed the Chief Guest to section.
Yeah. So thank you, Prashant, for nice introduction. So today's guest of honor, Sri Ravindra Rao Garu, Chief Engineer, R&B Department. Yeah. So Sri Brahma Reddy Garu, Chairman, IEI. Sri Venkat Subbaya Garu, Secretary, IEI. Professor Ramana Nayak Garu, former Chairman of IEI. One of my friend attending from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Sushil Maheshwari. He was our MTech, batchmate at IIT Bombay. And of course, my student Varun Prakash and many students attending this one. And at the same time, Sri Shyam Prasad Reddy Garu and T. Venkatesh Garu and Ram Reddy Garu and B. Prashant, member, and all officials of IEI and council members and retired chief engineers and FIE members of IEI. Very warm good evening to each and everyone. I am very happy to associate with IEI on the occasion of 32nd Endowment lecture of Koka Krishna Mohan Garu. I feel it's a great honor and privilege to deliver a endowment lecture. I thank IAI for giving me the opportunity to talk on metro rail system, especially in the Indian context, metropolitan cities. Just I'll share my slides and I'll start my presentation. Yeah. So is it visible? Hello? Is it visible, my sharing slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. So 2 days back, Dr. Prashant called me regarding delivering of this particular lecture with short notice. Yeah, I said okay, but because the preparation is very less time preparation. So okay, whatever I have the data, just definitely I'll talk. Like that, I promised him to deliver the lecture. So immediately, the topic, on which topic I have to talk. So we discussed several times regarding this metro system, importance for the metropolitan cities and normal cities, because it is the need of the hour. The policymakers and the governments, they should think seriously by providing metro rail system in Indian metropolitan cities, not only metropolitan, even the other cities. Yeah, so the significance of public transportation system. Without public transportation system, the cities cannot sustain. Well proven, public transportation systems in force across the world. If you look at top cities in the world, in all countries, the metro rail system is really helping a lot to the citizens of various countries. If you look at London Metro, 85% of the people use London Metro for their work purpose, though they have very luxurious cars. The beauty is the London Metro system they developed to attract all the citizens or that city, persons, users, maximum extent. In that manner, they provided the metro rail system very, very, very convenient manner. So each and every user, they should feel that the metro is more comfort than personalized vehicles. If we plan and provide and operate the metro system in such a manner, definitely the maximum number of the other vehicle users will shift towards metro system. So definitely there are many advantages with the metro rail system. So the fruits we are enjoying in the Hyderabad with 67 kilometers of metro, but the 67 kilometers metro may not be sufficient for 1.5 crore population, and at the same time almost the area 6,500 square kilometers of HMDA premises. Of course, we will discuss these things slowly. Now coming to the urbanization concept. So urbanization we cannot stop, highly impossible, because it's a natural phenomena. It's having its own kind of, the advantages with the urbanization. But focusing at few places is not the good concept. If you look at metropolitan cities in India, that 5 metropolitan cities, the major focus and major development concentrated at few places. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah. So concentrated at 5 places. Now another 6 to 10 cities upcoming. So definitely the growth rates, if you look at, abnormal, especially the population and the land use, number of vehicles, growth rate exponentially increasing. So the population rate also varies from one cities to other city. The major factors for urbanization, you all of you know that very clearly. So population is one of the major criteria. We cannot stop. That is also, again, it's a sensitive matter. Again, it's a policy kind of, the decision. And land use, you might have observed in Hyderabad before outer ring road and after outer ring road. Not only Hyderabad, even Bangalore, even Pune, even Ahmedabad. So many upcoming cities, the land use, utilization of land for different purpose exponentially increased. And coming to the industrialization, of course, this is very much essential because a lot of employment opportunities will get by the citizens, and obviously motor vehicles, the globalization scenario impacts, and IT revolution, migration, education, health, transport, power and water. So when all these facilities, all these provisions available to the citizens, so obviously they'll move towards urbanization. Lot of migration will take place. We cannot control, we cannot restrict on these aspects. So the census of India 2011 population, certain facts they presented, certain facts they given officially, the census of India 2011. So one of the important observation is the population of India is expected to increase from 121.1 crores to 152.2 crores during 2011 to 36. That is 25 years time. The increase is to 25.7 in 25 years. The rate of increase of population is 1% annually. This may continue up to 2045. This may continue up to 2045. Then the population will stabilize, like China. Population will stabilize. So the growth rate definitely less than 0.5% annually. So the linear prediction of population may not value after 2045. So the impact because of this increase of population, the density of population will increased from 368 to 2036. By 2036, 463 persons per square kilometer. So this is going to happen by 2036, 463 persons per square kilometer. So obviously the congestion, residential areas, scarcity, water facilities and infrastructure and other living things definitely will become a scarcity kind of facility. And that impact on transportation also will be drastically there. So therefore, the policy makers, based on the facts presented officially, the census of India, they should prepare some kind of comprehensive planning to face the situation for the increased population and increased, land use and other things. So the individual growth of vehicles and this population and land use at one place is not the advisable thing. So the policymakers and highest authorities, they should focus uniform development across the country. That should be taken as the top priority. If you look at Delhi and Bombay, almost saturated. The population growth, when you take according to the statistics presented, I will show the slides also. The growth rate is very low when you compare with the other cities, upcoming cities. The second important urban population second important observation presented the Census of India 2011. The urban population in the country, which is 31.8 in 2011 and expected to increase 30 to 38.2 by 2036. It means in 25 years, almost 7% of the population is going to increase in the urban areas or in the cities. So for that, we have to go for some kind of preparedness. The urban growth would account for about 73% of total population increase by 2036. So obviously what happens out of total population increase, 31.1 crore population during 2011 to 36 in the country. The urban share of population is expected to increase 21.8 crores. So this 21.8 crores obviously will expect so many facilities as I mentioned in my earlier slides. We have to focus seriously to prepare some kind of comprehensive planning, especially the transportation or public transportation or metro, whatever. So today we are facing serious kind of problem, and every day the present metro in Hyderabad offering only just 4 lakh trips. But when you look at the population today in 2022, almost 1.25 crores of population is there in Hyderabad, and 2 crores plus population is there in Delhi, and 2 crores plus population is there in the Mumbai, and almost 1.5 crores population there in the Bangalore. So obviously what happens, this population rate definitely will grow and we are facing the problem. And Bombay is the successful model for public transportation, but people, they want to shift from routine train, okay, local trains to metro system, because people now thinking they want to transform from compulsion to comfort. The days are, because of the technological development and because of globalization, because of, the world became a small village. So obviously because of, the ICT. So obviously everybody expects compulsion. They want to transform from compulsion to comfort because of the affordability. So people are looking for the, comfort. So therefore, the policymakers, the highest authorities, we have to provide according to the requirement of the changed environment to satisfy the citizens of the country, especially in urban areas. So this is a challenging task to the engineers and policymakers to meet the requirement of the citizens. And government is committed to population stabilization in India by 2045, as I said. So definitely after 2045, the population definitely less than 0.5% annually. So as I said, the linear projection, definitely it will give wrong picture over a period of time. If you look at the statistics, according to the, the statistical department 2011, and if you look at the cities, the Mumbai is the population in 2001 is 1.19 crores and 2011 1.23 crores to 24 crores. The increase of population only 3.87, and Delhi and 11.42, because these two cities almost, reached to the saturation stages. And if you look at the Bangalore, in the last 10 years, 95.89% of the population, because of lot of migration took place, because of IT companies attracted employment from various places in the country. So similarly, Hyderabad also took the second place, 87.22. So obviously, the IT companies attracted employment to maximum extent in the Hyderabad. And then Surat in another upcoming city in India with the 83.57 population, because the business, industries and employment, and it's a great business hub, especially in the western side of India. So similarly, the red one are all the future growth potential cities. And if you look at the Kolkata earlier, the population density was very highest and population were highest, but according to the recent statistics, the minus 1.88. So this kind of situation will come after 2050. The population definitely will come down for all cities once cities reaches to the saturation level. So my target here is all the red one is a great challenging one. So the red indication, percentage of population indicated in the red figures, 15 to 20 cities growing in a very, very, very exponential manner. If you look at, the Surat 83, Ahmedabad 58.25, the Jaipur 31.28, Lucknow 28.81, and Indore 32.93, Thane 44.06, and Bhopal 24.93, and so Pimpri, that is in Maharashtra, 70.64, and Vishakhapatnam 28.56. So Vadodara 27.91, and even Agra and Nashik and Faridabad, Ranchi and Meerut. These are all potential cities to become a class 1 city, and definitely some kind of public transportation provisions to be planned now onwards before 2036, and then the ultimate target is 2050. So by 2036, what kind of public transportation system, what kind of metro system is required? Some kind of comprehensive planning is very much essential for upcoming these 15 to 20 cities in India. So otherwise, all the the experiences, bad experiences faced by the old cities, the new cities also will face same kind of problem in the coming future by 2036 and by 2050. So therefore, we have to keep in mind that 2036 what is required, by 2050 what is required, that one has to plan now itself. Then the number of vehicles, if you look at this worldwide. So here for 1000 population, the worldwide, the motor vehicles per 1000 population, the San Marino is a small country besides Italy. They have, for 1000 population, 1263 cars are there, 1263. So similarly, the Andorra, this is just besides Paris, 1207 cars per 1000 population. By 2013 only, they reached this one by 2013, and second one reached in 2022. So similarly, if you look at United States of America, 816 by 2019, and New Zealand is 837, and similarly Australia 748, 2021 by 2021. So the ranks, if you look at, so this cars growth or motor vehicles growth in the developed countries is acceptable because their infrastructure and their comprehensive planning system is supporting the increased vehicles, and ultimately the efficiency of the system is measured in terms of the travel time, right, and level of service concepts already available. So without any kind of problem, they are sustaining. And ultimately, the metro system helped a lot in all these places, maximum extent, to curb the traffic jams or lesser travel times, etc. So here, the another challenge is that, see, when it is more than 1000 cars per 1000 population, creation of infrastructure, definitely in an exponential manner, and lot of money and planning and policy is required at higher level. So in India also, just I'll show the Indian statistics, right? This is, countrywide. Japan also 590. Here placed more than 500 cars per population, 1000 population placed here. And all the advanced countries, the sustaining in a very, very excellent manner with the required infrastructure, sophisticated infrastructure, and they are using technology maximum extent to provide excellent infrastructure. So only the 500 cars per population countries, around 30 countries, having 500 cars per 1000 population. So recently reached that 2019, 2017, like that. So in India, just 60 cars per 1000 population present according to this worldwide statistics. So India places just 60. So for 60 vehicles, we are facing so many problems. So the number of cars per 1000 population is an indication of the country development. One side, is a prestige, and it indicates some kind of sign to the world that India is developed country. Otherwise, some country is developed. So when more than 500 cars, more than 300 cars per 1000 population, definitely the country is normally treated as developed country. So yeah, but unfortunately,
doing presentation on online. So
yeah,
online.
so, unfortunately, yeah. So unfortunately, the 60 vehicles per cars per 1000 population, we are facing problem. And in Indian context, that statistics also presented here. Number of vehicles per 1000 population statewide in India. And the good sign is that Chandigarh achieved 700 vehicles per 1000 population, and Puducherry also 521. The Goa 476. So above 500, two states is having 2 states, and the rest of the states just 400, 300, 100, like that. So the average here, according to that, 180 cars per 1000 population as per the recent statistics presented in the Wikipedia. So it means our infrastructure is able to support 180 cars per 1000 population, and at the same time, with a lot of difficulty, the people are facing, especially in the urban areas. This is the overall one, but urban areas, so many problems facing by the users. So the individual growth of cars, one side is a good thing, but at the same time, when the infrastructure is not proper, obviously you have to spend a lot of time in the traffic. So definitely the cities and persons is having some kind of value of travel time. So the Mumbai is having highest value of travel time. Therefore, they could able to provide infrastructure, and even the international companies, they are coming forward to invest, in Mumbai under P or BOOT and BOT farm, especially in the Delhi also, Delhi and Mumbai and Bangalore. So wherever the value of travel time is less, so obviously the investors definitely will hesitate, because their returns, they worry about the returns, right? And congestion pricing is another kind of solution to avoid the traffic at CBD areas and downtown areas. That concept in Mumbai they started, but in many places they are thinking to provide such kind of facility, such kind of initiation in rest of the cities. So if you look at the statewide infrastructure, statewide the statistics, number of cars per 1000 population here provided, right? And Bihar is 31, and like that Tripura, West Bengal, all. So some states they are in forefront, and some states still some kind of uniformity is not there. That is why, as I said, the uniform development definitely indicates. If you look at the United States of America, Canada, and other places, wherever you go, the same kind of infrastructure you will get. That is why the migration rates are very less in United States of America and Canada, and even the European countries. Yeah. So then coming to our metro rail system, and everybody knows that, because even small cities also, around 15 cities initiated in India this metro system very effectively by the government, state governments and central governments. The people are enjoying now. So the International Association of Public Transport, they defined the metro system as urban passenger transport systems operated on their own right of way and segregated from general road and pedestrian traffic. So without any kind of delays, the continuous journey will take place with limited time, and at the same time cost, and highest safety. So the present scenario in Indian context, all metropolitan cities, if you look at the overcrowding. So this is a photograph, taken in Mumbai. Mumbai local train system. Every day, the journey is a hell to them. And this is a serious kind of problem. So now the transportation planners and policy makers and governments, they have to think to reduce this density. According to the international standards, per 1 square meter area, 4 to 5 passengers can comfortably stand. But here, against 4 to 5 members, here 20 to 25 members standing in 1 square meter area. So you can assume the demand for the public transportation system in the metropolitan cities and how dangerously they are traveling and giving inconvenience to each of them. It's a everyday fight in Mumbai. So our intention is, our target is to reduce. And as I said, the people now thinking for this is a compulsion, earlier compulsion. Now they are looking for the alternatives because of the affordability. So they want to move towards comfort. So in that process, the metro rail system or some comfortable system very much essential in metropolitan cities. So this is a serious kind of problem. So for every problem, we have to search for the solution. All the engineers and policymakers, we should think of seriously to provide or to avoid such kind of situation. Then the another problem, you see the traffic jams. This is a very, very common in Indian metropolitan cities. Not only in Indian, even the eastern side of the cities. This kind of, traffic jams are very, very common because of, mixed in nature. And two-wheelers percentage almost 60 in Hyderabad, according to the comprehensive study conducted by the LISA in 2013, Lee Associates, by HMDA, 60% of the vehicles are two-wheelers. 60% because we interviewed two-wheeler persons in one of my MTech student conducted survey. So they are saying that especially in Hyderabad region, Telangana region, two-wheeler is a convenient mode and which can be used for door-to-door purpose. So that is why any user always they think that the problem is immediately after just they coming from get out from home, immediately they should get some kind of facility, some kind of food transportation. So the existing metro, there are again some kind of difficulties are there even in the metro. So the metro system is excellent, but the problem is the approachability, access, first mile and last mile connectivity is a serious kind of concern. So these two aspects also very, very important for providing the metro. Okay, so for these problems, what is the solution? We have to accommodate because the space is very limited here. So the space is very limited. So almost here 3 lanes are there, but it is not visible. So the horizontal expansion of road is not the advisable kind of, the solution, horizontal expansion. So what the developed countries they did, so vertical expansion is only the solution. You have to go up or down, not, horizontal. So by doing that, you cannot, reduce the travel time. So the problems will become again further exponential. So therefore, the vertical solution is only the solution. So that is why in majority of the developed countries, they constructed metro underground maximum extent. Example is the Shanghai metro, almost 600 plus kilometers constructed underground, and they connected very excellently to international airports 80 kilometers away. One is at eastern side and one is at western side. Total underground metro constructed 600 kilometers, very sophisticated advanced technology they used. And similarly, the beauty, as I said, the -3, -1, -2, -3 like that in London metro, intra-city, intercity, inter-country, the different levels they are operating by dividing some kind of zoning system, the radial zoning system, zone 1 CBD area, downtown area, zone 2 just besides, right? Zone 3, zone 4, 9 zones are there. So if somebody want to enter from 9th zone to 1st zone, the travel cost is very, very, very high. So even toll charges also very, very, very high. So like that, they are discouraging to not to, enter into the CBD area, downtown areas by dividing into different kinds of zoning system and creating some kind of importance and avoiding entry of vehicles into such crowded areas by imposing serious kind of, the tolls and penalties and charges. So that is mandatory under, TSM actions. So what is the solution for these problems? So the solution is definitely a long-term solution is required to curb this problem. So long-term planning is required. So the so many vehicles dumping on the roads is not a good kind of sign. We have to reduce number of vehicles maximum extent. We have to accommodate. See, the metro, let us say metro 5 compartments at a time, it facilitates around 500 members. So 500 members, when they use their individual vehicles like two-wheelers and autos and cars, almost 400 vehicles, 300 to 400 vehicles are using. You can avoid 400 to 300 vehicles, 300 to 400 vehicles by using the metro. So like that, number of trips. So nowadays in Hyderabad also, they reduced it to the headway 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes you will get the metro. In Mumbai, 2.5 minutes local train will available. That is I think the least the headway in the world, I think, operating in the metropolitan cities. 2.5 minutes, one train they're operating, and so many 2,000 to 2,500, almost 3,000 passengers in one trip they're traveling in Mumbai in each train. So 11 compartments. Like that. So that is a beauty, public transportation. But at the same time, the crowd is again exponential. As I said, the demand still more, 16 to 20 to 25 members in 1 square meter area. They are standing and even they're doing some kind of, the hanging, right, at the door. So the solution is not that much easy. So it's a very tough kind of solution. Even if you create, the infrastructure, this photograph in China, so number of lanes you can see at level 1 and at ground level and level 1. So level 1 also you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 lanes each side. And below also at the ground level also there are few, the lanes. So almost 15 lanes, 15 to 15 lanes. Still the solution, as I said, the sometimes even vertical expansion also not the advisable one. So the remedy is, in order to facilitate so many vehicles at level 1 and level 2, in that place, if you provide some kind of this metro public transportation system, if you could able to facilitate and attract the users by providing in very, very, very easy manner. So London Metro beauty is it's a grid kind of metro. Every 1 kilometer, even if you go by walk, any direction, north direction, east direction, west direction, all direction, any direction, you will get this station. So that is the beauty. That is why London Metro, almost 85% of the citizens, 85% of the job holders or business persons, they use in spite of having lavish cars. So only the cars normally they use in the weekends for their tour purpose. But otherwise they use metro very, very comfortably every day, their work purpose or business purpose, very effective manner. So the solution is not by just providing so much of infrastructure, blind infrastructure. So the solution is accommodating more number in the group public in the form of public transportation. So these are all problems. So these problems to be addressed by the transportation planners and policy makers and the governments, secretaries, right, to think about a effective solution. So the solutions are not 1 day, 2 day. It's a long term, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 50 years, and continuous efforts and planning, the budget, finance, and resources, technology, machinery, very much, essential to build. So the solution is creating state-of-the-art infrastructure and utilizing the land multi-purpose. So land space is a serious kind of problem in the urban areas, metropolitan areas. So today the world is now flat. Whether the land value in Washington, land value in New York, land value in Sydney, land value in Shanghai, land value in Delhi, land value in Mumbai, land value in Hyderabad, almost the same. There is no much difference. Only the currencies are different, but the value is almost the same. So therefore, space is a serious kind of concern. So within available space, we have to accommodate so many things. So that is why if you look at the Paris airport, the highway is passing through airport only underground, and above the the highway, so many runways are there, even in the Beijing also. So they are using the land for multi-purpose. Okay, they are providing metro, they are providing underground metro, and above ground. So again, as I said, highways they are allowing, and at the same time the runways also they are availing. So this is called the effective utilization of space because of this shortage. So here also you can see how beautifully the total infrastructure they provided here, below all the highways, and here you can see the metro system and here railway system very beautifully. They, according to the demand, they provided the elevated. As I said, the vertical expansion is only the solution in a very, very comprehensive manner. This vertical expansion definitely will give some kind of reduction on the number of vehicles. You can also see on the roads, very less number of vehicles also you can observe here on the roads. So here and everywhere, it's not like a crowd kind of thing. So it's not like a crowd. It's like a very, 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 the ordinary, the nominal traffic, very, very nominal traffic you can observe on the existing, the recently provided infrastructure on various cities. Then coming to the, this is another solution. So here, as I said, here, yeah. So this is the crowd, overcrowding in all the, trains in Mumbai, and the scenario is same almost in other cities also. So Mumbai little higher, and if you look at even MMTS, initially started in the year 2001. The MMTS railway lines already built, because on existing railway system only they operated MMTS. So initially up to 2010 to 2015, even up to, the occupancy ratio is only 50%, because as I mentioned, the accessibility is a serious kind of problem. So accessibility, the first mile connectivity and last mile connectivity is a serious problem. So even the users, because of some compulsion, they used to travel in the MMTS, but over a period of time, because of compulsion, because of other kind of, the paratransit systems they introduced at origin and destination places. So some kind of improvement is there. Now almost 100% occupancy is there. So the existing metro system also is really almost 100%, 70 to 80% occupancy is there, right? Now coming to the solution for this system is, everybody now looking for this kind of facility, everybody in the metropolitan cities. So as I said, everybody moving towards comfort, compulsion to comfort. So this particular photograph I took in Sydney in 2005. So the occupancy, you can see only the 80% is still. It may accommodate another 20. There is no standing at all. This is a double-decker local train. So what kind of modifications we have to do? So for existing Mumbai local train system, this one, you can accommodate certain people by introducing the double-decker train. Some kind of innovation, some kind of attempt we have to make. So thinking, differently. So here in Sydney, if you look at this particular train, they modified this train. You can see the height they increased it just 1.5 meters extra than the existing. They made 2 compartments at ground level and at first level. They accommodated additional 30% of the people, 30 to 40% of the people. And this system is really surviving. There is no crowd much, and even the utility almost 70% people are using in the Sydney area. So similarly, wherever crowd is there, especially for the trains, local train system, we can think of how to accommodate more people into train. into compartment. So that is a great kind of challenge, innovation, and some kind of the what you call implementation, also one of the decision making and implementation. That is a serious kind of concern. So majority of the the planners and policy makers, the problem is the implementation and reforms, taking the decision and implementation. This is a serious kind of concern, especially in the Indian context, right? Now coming to this particular solution, and this is the problem. As I said, this is the problem. And what is the solution? It's a bigger problem. The size of the problem is very, very, very high. So length of the problem, breadth of the problem, height of the problem is a huge one. Yeah. So what is the solution for this? The solution is, if you look at, this one, to transform from that state to this state, it takes almost 50 years, more than 50 years. So this is a great kind of challenge. We have to make our roads like this, but horizontal expansion is not possible, only vertical expansion. Only vertical expansion. This is a major challenge again to the transportation planners and engineers, right? Then creation of transportation smart infrastructure. So today people talking about smart infrastructure, smart cell phones, everything is smart. So everywhere some kind of sensors, and the structure should speak, interact each other. In such a manner we have to plan with a innovative manner and very aesthetically attractive kind of the infrastructure. Definitely the efficiency of the public transportation and efficiency of the system will improve maximum extent. So for that, the lateral thinking is required. So vertical thinking is very much required. And as I said, the metro rail definitely is a fully segregated rail system. And here the metro rail can have a very high capacity, 40,000 to 80,000 passengers per hour per direction. So this is the beauty of metro rail. So if you operate in a very effective manner, definitely we can provide excellent solution to the problems whatever mentioned in the previous slide. So the metro systems are not alone, and other systems also available, depends upon the requirement, especially CBD and downtown areas. So which includes some kind of monorail system. Monorail system definitely is a lower capacity and higher maintenance cost, and one should think of. So why do we need metros? The metro rail projects provide longer economic and social benefits to the society, which includes reduction in cost and time of travel. This is a great kind of advantage. So when people value the time, definitely they have to use the metro system. There is no way, there is no other go. Reduction in traffic congestion. Every day, people who travels very frequently in the traffic, they're getting some kind of the frustration because of the traffic. So because of stress, their health conditions are damaging because of driving, because of waiting, because of inconvenience. So those things also should be taken into consideration. Substantial reduction in per capita the pollution emissions, resulting in reduction in chronic diseases, as said. Reduction in road accidents. Many accidents are taking place every day. The statistics also presenting by the government of India. So the major challenge is to reduce number of accidents. When the more number of vehicles, when you reduce and increasing the sufficient infrastructure, obviously the accidents we can minimize maximum extent. And we have to protect our nature, the noise pollution, right, and dust pollution and other sorts of pollution because of the vehicles is a major kind of priority. And non-motorized vehicles is another important aspect, and one should focus. And types of metros. Rapid transit normally we call, popularly known as metro, available almost more than 100 cities the worldwide. And suburban rails, as I said, MMTS, and even the Hyderabad, even Mumbai local train system, And in Canada, Toronto, Go Train system they provided, Go Train. So they developed the satellite townships, even up to 100 kilometers from Toronto, and they're operating trains to the all the, by connecting all these townships, satellite townships, that is transit oriented development took place. Best example, as per my knowledge is concerned. So the transit oriented development took place in Canada, especially Toronto. They connected all the places very nicely, right? And sufficient parking system provided at each station. Some stations accommodating almost 3,000 to 5,000 cars. So they are constructing, they're residing in a very, very lavish homes. The access travel by car, they're parking at station. And the double-decker GO train facility is a very successful model for Toronto, Canada. Similarly, in some other places also, they're connecting. The transit-oriented development is really taking place in a very, very excellent manner in other cities of the developing countries. In India also, the development should, with respect to transit facilities. So then only the majority of the problems we can avoid, especially encouraging individual vehicles, you can avoid maximum extent. If you look at the medium capacity rails also, according to the requirements, you can operate. Presently, the metro system, I think 3 compartments they are using, in future 5, and further, based on the requirement, the 7, even up to 9. They designed up to 9, it seems. And similarly, the light rail concept also introduced in some of the cities, developed countries. I think this system they developed for Goa, it seems, Goa, Bangalore. I don't know exactly whether this light rail system is in force or not. So then the monorail system also they provided, monorail in the different variety of forms, because the innovation is taking maximum extent in different places, and each and every place, each and every city, they are following a different kind of technology and different kind of system. But ultimately, to operate this metro effectively, to transport the people from one place to other place with a lot of safety and other lesser travel times, travel costs, with a lot of efficiency. And regional systems also working properly. I traveled personally from Naples city to Rome in the fast train, 200 kilometers per hour, and at the same time the Shanghai to Beijing to Shanghai, almost 1,200 kilometers. We traveled in 3 hours, it seems, 400 kilometers, 350 to 400 kilometers per hour. Very, very nicely they provided this intercity travel, and the best alternative for the flight. So the trams also can provide, depends upon the the location and other kinds of facilities. So the monorail system they provided in Sydney area, it accommodates around 60 members, 50 to 60 members. It connects all the shopping malls and cinema theaters and restaurants and other the elevated infrastructure they connects. And the beautiful what you call the system they developed in Sydney, the CBD area, and putting a lot of restrictions, they can travel through metro to the CBD area, then they can catch the monorail and they can do shopping, entertainment, etc. Very, very, very integrated manner. So the integrated manner, when you design, obviously people will utilize the facility, but when we not consider this integrated kind of planning, so obviously the individual vehicle strength, the vehicle number increases, especially in the Indian context. And you can also see the huge escalators provided at London Metro underground. You can reach any platform within 3 minutes with the help of these escalators. So that is a sufficient infrastructure to meet the demand. And another aspect is the parking. So unfortunately, the metro systems in India introduced in the Delhi and Bangalore and India in Hyderabad, Chennai, and almost 15 cities. I'll give that statistics also. So the parking is a serious kind of problem, because the space is a serious kind of problem everywhere. People talking about, when I associated with the metro, first Godgill, Mr. Godgill. So he used to say space is a serious kind of problem. And Dr. NVS Reddy also used to say space is a serious kind of problem. Today we are facing at all metro stations because of insufficient parking system. The occupancy is also definitely is coming down. But all the time I'm observing just physically whenever I travel on the road, majority of the slots filling from morning 7 onwards, 7 to even night 9. So such the limited parking system, the huge demand is there. But what is the alternative system? So the alternative system is off-street parking system. So we have to plan off-street parking system. We have to encourage people to use this off-street parking system. These two twin towers provided in Chicago CBD area, just besides this twin towers, metro station is there. So the people just simply come and they leave their car, and within 3 minutes they catch the local train, that is metro. Very, 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 very excellently they integrated this parking system and at the same time the metro station. So that is what people are looking for, the integrated network system, where integrated facility. And you can also see how beautifully they parked almost, I think, 33 floors building. They parked public transportation with lot of safety, and totally is automation. It's not manual parking. It's a totally automated parking system they introduced, because the technology nowadays is available, and only thing is effective utilization of technology and taking certain decisions is the need of the hour. And the smart infrastructure, as I said, infrastructure providing is different, but smart infrastructure. So the structures should talk in such a manner. We have to provide the infrastructure. So here, if you look at this particular photograph, the pedestrian, the crossing, footover bridge, how beautifully they constructed. Here lift also there, and the transparency system also available, and steps. If you look at just the 30 degrees inclination to climb to facilitate old people and children and all other the persons, they made this climbing very easy. And the lift parallelly they provided lift, and the environment also here very clean and neat. And this is a structural challenge also to the civil engineers. This all nanomaterial, this particular structure they made up with the nanomaterial. Simply, it's resting on these rings at edges here, the connection at this place, and suspended totally. So how beautifully this particular design here, utility almost to 100%. This particular structure provided in Sydney area. This is one model, but every model is a unique at all major junctions and major the places, even the metro stations. Today in Hyderabad at metro stations, the people simply just crossing the road. Of course, the HMDA and GHMC, they started. These are pedestrian crossovers, especially the footover bridges they started, and even they're providing lift to. The problem is, again, it's a maintenance and keeping the environment very clean and pleasant and safe. That is a major challenge again in the Indian context. So always, even a small thing, see, we have to think in a very, very, very narrow, micro level, very micro level. By taking those things into consideration, we have to design, or we have to plan and design the things and even maintain these. Then only the structure or the facility, whatever, it will sustain, and the efficiency system will definitely good in future. And you can also see how the beautifully they constructed this one. And coming to the Indian context, just now we are talking, so these are all various kinds of systems normally implemented based on the population of city and financial feasibility and demand and policymakers, policymakers and even the experts' opinion. So urban transit type, here metro, suburb rails and medium capacity rails, light rails, monorails, the photographs which I have shown just now, the tram. The capacities, if you want to provide high capacity, you have to go for the metro. So very high suburb rails like MMTS and even the city rail systems like Mumbai. And medium capacity, medium capacity rails also, the medium and light rail medium, monorail medium, and regional transit, of course, intercity is very high and the tram is low. And speeds also, of course, medium, because every 1 kilometer there is a station, especially Hyderabad is concerned, and all the cities, because we have to cover many stations, and frequency obviously high, 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes. So like that, the regional, of course, low frequency, we cannot operate many trains between one city to other city. Exclusive right of way will be there. There is no interruption for usage of the track, and all are rail based one. So because the track construction, everything, maintenance, everything is now smart structures. They're providing maintenance part physically not required at one place. There are certain control rooms monitored. As I said, in China, almost 20 cities, all, the fast train systems, rapid train systems, they provided around 20 to 25 cities. Absolutely, the monitoring system from control office, centralized control at different places they provided. They never go. They all, they arranged all sensors and cameras and other things. It will give sufficient warning or sufficient indication. Okay, when something goes wrong, totally automatic. So such a system now available for all our metros also in India. Everywhere, not only in India, everywhere they are adopting such kind of technology. So technology is definitely playing a key role in operational point of view, and the design, the planning and design point of view also. We have to take those technological things as an input while designing a metro system. Right, future. So today we are in 22. By 2035, what kind of technology will come? We should be able to assess. At least it will serve at least another 15 years, and then we have to modify. So like that, suppose mobiles we are using. So any mobile nowadays, 3 years life, right? Any mobile. So even computers also 3 to 5 years maximum. So then you have to purchase a new one. And obviously what happens? So the softwares and other kinds of requirements, so we have to update according to the situation. So similarly, the structures also should be planned and designed to accommodate to future, what you call changes, to accommodate future changes. By 2035, by 2050, by 2075, what kind of changes normally anticipated? So such kind of vision should be there to the policymakers and engineers, especially engineers, experts, those who deal or those who propose such kind of systems. And of course, as I said, the many benefits from the metro rail system, and proven worldwide most efficient in terms of energy consumption. Very, very important. Space occupancy, with little space, Hyderabad also you can see, in Delhi also you can see, only 2 meters by 2 meter, 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter, the pillar, the metro totally, resting on 1.5 by 1.5 meter pillar. How beautifully they constructed. Okay, all the, the girders, long precast girders, the construction, it's a really civil engineering, what you call excellency, right? So it's a great challenge also. It's not easy. This L&T and other top companies, they really made it very successful. Now we are seeing the results. We are enjoying that facility. So the high capacity carriers, very high volumes of peak hour and peak direction trips. As I said, you can take many people in a single trip, right? According to the demand. And eco-friendly, causes no air pollution. So we are doing a lot of benefit to we are protecting our nature. Much less sound pollution. You can enjoy the travel in the AC environment, in the better environment, in the hygienic environment. And low energy consumption, 20% per passenger kilometer in comparison to road-based system. So you can, save the energy maximum extent here, 20% when you compare with the road-based system. And the another advantage is the greater traffic capacity carries as much traffic as 7 lanes of bus traffic or 24 lanes of car traffic either way. So this is another great advantage, as I have already given example in the previous slides. Very low ground space occupation, 2 meter width only for elevated rail. Yeah, according to the geography or topography, we can plan, and faster reduces journey time by 50 to 75% of the journey time you can minimize, save. That is a greater advantage. So introduction of metro rail in India, the first and Asia's fifth metro rail was introduced in Kolkata. As I said, Kolkata now the population is almost stagnated because of the oldest city in India. Over a length of 16.45 kilometers, so sanctioned in the year 1972. So in the metro, we started in the 1972 at Kolkata, very old one. So the construction work started 73 to 74. And of course, they faced so many problems. Finally, they started the journey in the year 1984. Yeah, so the urban rail transit definitely plays a key role in the intracity transportation in the major cities, which are highly populated. And according to the 2021 statistics, report published by a premier kind of, the publishers, a total of 2,636 million people traveled annually in metro system across India's 13 major cities. So major cities now introduced 13 by metro. So placing the country as one of the busiest urban rapid transit hub. So the situation now we provided only 20% of the requirement. But if you go for almost 80 to 90% of the requirement, so obviously this 2,636 million definitely 5 times increases in India. And anyway, another 10 cities also joining in the coming, next another 10 years. So 13 plus 10, 25 cities needs metro, and definitely 2,636 into 6 times, 6 folds, it increases. So many millions annually. So obviously what happens here, the busiest urban rapid transit hub in the world in terms of ridership. So the ridership as of now, excellent. But the only thing is people again feeling certain, difficulties. If you smoothen those difficulties, further ridership will be 5 to 6 folds increases. And insufficient system also another kind of, insufficient system, insufficient length. So it is not covered all parts of the city. That is another disadvantage. So the combined length as of now, 750 kilometers of metro system in India makes it with the 5th longest in the world within operation. So operational point of view, length is less, but operational point of view, the 5th, place is taking place. That is the beauty of our Indian metro system. List of metro systems in India, as I said, the Ahmedabad started, Chennai started, Delhi metro, the 10 lines they introduced. That's the beauty. And here the annual ridership 1790. So Delhi people, they really synced with the metro. So they are using metro system very beautifully. So the operational length is 345 and under construction 40 is there. They implemented in 3 phases and again planning for 82.29. The Chennai metro also limited length is there, but 42 million ridership is there. Again 50 kilometers something planning going on. And Jaipur metro just 11 stations, the 12 kilometers completed. And Kochi metro successfully running 17 million people annual, the ridership is there. Hyderabad metro 3 lines in operational now, 57 stations are there. So the length is 67 kilometers. I think in second phase, they are planning for the 58. But as far as my this thing is concerned, in Hyderabad and even other cities also, the metro connectivity will be given to the airport. Because as per the ICAO guidelines, International Civil Aviation Organization, Montreal, when the airport is, placing 30 kilometers away from the city, the effective public transportation facility to be provided. So 2008, our airport started in 2008. Today is 2022, and almost 15 years, almost 14 years time period. I think so many cars moving towards airport under different stress conditions, and a lot of energy the pollution, and last minute, the 50-50 chances of getting flight. They're facing serious kind of problem. And not only Hyderabad, even other cities in India, the airport connectivity, we have to make compulsion, and top priority shall be given by the policymakers and the governments, so that you can save a lot of energy and we can reduce, the pollution levels maximum. You can enhance the comfort level. So the airport to traveler should feel happy in the AC environment without any kind of tension regarding reachability and non-reachability. So that uncertainty we have to remove from the airport, the traveler. So here 13 cities introduced this one. No? So as I said, Kolkata, Lucknow Metro, Mumbai Metro, Nagpur Metro, and Bangalore Metro, Noida, Pune, like that. So as per the number of, the kilometers and area and population, we developed some model actually. So we developed a model. See, in India, right now the situation is like this. And here, if you look at the metro. So if you look at the metro, M is, all the metro stations are provided here, M. So M is the metro locations, and S is the suburban, S is the suburban, and PM is the people mover, monorail system. Here PM is very less here, only I think Mumbai city is there, and T also there, that is, light rail, etc. and bus rapid transit also. So you can see at different parts of the country, they are implemented different kinds of, urban transit systems. So it should be, again, as I said, it should be extended to maximum, 25 cities, upcoming cities I mentioned in the list, statistics given in, in the earlier of my, slides. So therefore, now we have to focus based on the population, the different kinds of, urban transit systems as per the requirement. So this is according to the 2021 statistics, recent statistics, right? Yeah. So the Indian scenario, the areas when you take into consideration, the Delhi 2.5 crores population and area 1.1484 square kilometers, total network is this much, and ridership also given here. So similarly, the other kinds of, the areas are given here. Areas are given here. You can also observe like population versus area and total network and ridership sector. We developed some kind of model based on this population and area and number of this thing. So what we found is even international scenarios also we taken into consideration, international scenarios. So the international scenarios also, the population versus the areas, total areas, right? And number of kilometers they provided. So we actually found certain conclusions that I will explain. Last two slides are there. Prashant, just wait 2-3 minutes. So the experience with the metro worldwide and Indian context. People are now, especially Indian context, they are worrying about last mile connectivity. This is a very sensitive aspect. So the policymakers and experts, they should take this aspect in a very serious manner. And insufficient parking system definitely hampers the efficiency of the metro system. Some kind of alternative system we have to make it. And access travel more than main travel cost. So what happening now? For example, a person, staying in Tarnaka and staying in Tarnaka, some colony. So to reach the metro station, the auto or some paratransit, they're charging almost, 100 rupees. So the main travel cost is less than 50. And again, when you get up at in the Madhapur or somewhere, right? And again, to reach the last mile connectivity, again, they're asking more than 50 rupees. So the main travel is less than 50. But the access and egress travel cost is more than 100 rupees. So this is hampering. This is the general opinion we conducted by surveys. So this is fact. So one can also test. This is a serious kind of problem. So we have to integrate. At least we have to provide some paratransit system to minimize this cost, because all the middle class people and just upper middle class people, the middle income people, they are willing to travel. But the problem is, this is the access travel cost is more than the main travel. That's a serious kind of concern. And lack of integrated approach. So integrated approach is one of the fundamental kind of thing in transportation, right? Planning process. So we have to integrate all kinds of systems, and even transfer, and even parking system, and even walking, even the pedestrian approach. Everything should be integrated in a proper manner. The another important thing is not connected to important places. Of course, as I said, this is a top priority. Airport connection is a top priority. And 60% of the two-wheeler shift is very small. So 60% two-wheeler are there in the traffic, but the shift is very small because the door-to-door connectivity is impressing them to follow the two-wheelers maximum extent. If you could able to correct this access travel cost and providing some kind of facility, you can 30% of two-wheelers you can catch to the metro, so that the traffic on the main roads definitely will reduce maximum extent. Awareness is another problem. So another awareness, we have to create awareness. That is also one of the important aspect. And integrated ticketing system should be introduced. So suppose a bus facility is there. Let us say some Boduppal to Uppal metro station bus facility is there. So they can purchase integrated pass system. They can travel, by using that pass, and they can catch the metro. And again, after getting down, they can catch some kind of bus or some kind of arrangement should be made with the paratransit owners. So pedestrian skywalks and walks should be provided, and awareness to be created. So strict enforcement should be done to utilize that. And foot over bridge facilities also to be very frequently, and needy places should be provided. And we have to keep the safety is the topest priority at foot over bridges, so that the utility rate will be very high. So then the future metro system, last slide. I know, of course, more than 1 hour is over. They're very much, in the evening there, I think just 5 minutes, right, friends? The future metro system, how it could be. So comprehensive metro planning should be done, especially in Hyderabad. Let us say they planned for 69 kilometers for the population of 90 lakhs at that time. So now gradually population increasing, because 87% growth is their population for Hyderabad. So obviously the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 by 2035 or by 2050, the comprehensive planning must be done, and we can take up that in stage wise. That is a serious kind of the requirement right now. The integrated planning approach and connecting all major ports. This is not only Hyderabad, in many other places, Chennai and other. So metro connectivity should be given to the airports and even the other ports, etc. Decentralization of crowded cities, by developing small cities. So the cities which are about to reach saturation, alternative cities to be developed, alternative cities. So ultimately the uniform growth in all places, very, very, very essential. That at a national level or at state level, at regional level, this kind of, the planning very much essential. Uniform development avoids migration, obviously. Improving last or first mile connectivity, another task.
Professor Kumar Garu.
Sir.
Sir, Professor Kumar, sir.
Sir.
Sir, kindly to conclude, sir, because
we are 1 minute. So parking facilities, off-street parking, very much essential, and access travel facility with normal charges, as I said. And approximately, this is the last conclusion I want to give. For every 50 lakh population, based on some study I am presenting here, every 50 lakh population, at least 200 kilometers metro length is required. Okay, so there is a relationship between population versus number of kilometers based on the international and national level, what you call information, the existing information, right? So we developed some model, every 50 lakhs population, at least 200 kilometers metro length. This is some kind of thumb rule. So reduction of personalized vehicles in use, that is another important aspect. Thank you for your kind attention and bearing all my, the what you call these lecture points. Thank you very much, one and all. Yeah.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your very informative lecture on metro rail significance. I would like to ask the chairman, sir.
Good evening, Professor Kumar, sir.
Namaste. Good evening, sir. I'm sorry, I took little
Sir,
time.
highly appreciable talk, sir. Here, we are in committee meeting.
Yeah.
But I am from Delhi, sir. I have gone through Delhi metro in all directions.
Yeah.
But as you said, sir, there was a very good traffic optimization, but heavy traffic in by road also.
Yeah.
You told about Paris. I have been to Venezuela in Caracas in 2005. Then also I traveled in Caracas metro. As you said, there is a very discipline, sir. Everywhere there are 1 kilometer, but here in Delhi and Chennai, Bangalore, and also Hyderabad, metro ఉన్నప్పుడు కూడా మనకు ట్రాఫిక్ బాగుంది సార్. What is the cause? Kindly.
Yeah.
Sir,
See, as I said, you know,
Dr.
metro-
Rangreddy has raised his hand.
okay.
And I have one
Yeah,
question,
please.
sir.
Please,
Principal,
sir.
sir. Sir,
Yeah,
sir. మీరు ఇందాక all the states the ratios చూపించారు, but unfortunately Telangana was not there in that.
Which one, sir?
మీరు ఇప్పుడు 35 స్టేట్స్ అండ్ యూనియన్ టెరిటరీస్ చూపించారు సార్. ఏది రేషియో విత్ ద కార్స్ విత్ 1000 పీపుల్.
Yeah. Actually, I took only more than 200 cars. More than 200 cars.
No.
For
Unfortunately,
1000
no.
population.
No. చండీగఢ్ ఉంది, లాస్ట్ లో బీహార్ ఉంది, 35 ఉన్నది, 700 ఉంది.
Okay.
Telangana-
60. That is Telangana. As per the statistics, it is 60. 60. I think that is missing, it seems.
Yeah, అందులో లేదు.
Yeah.
Kumar,
Yeah, Babra sir, namaste.
you have given an empirical rule for every half crore. You said 200 kilometers of metro.
Yes, sir.
I think
It's
that is a kind of
based
a
on
very
some
simple-
regression model, sir. See, we have the city area and the population and number of kilometers.
True,
So
but
we
then
developed one regression equation. So it's a tentative and other factors also will be there. But approximately one thumb rule is every 50 lakhs population, we need 200 kilometers of metro, so that impact you can clearly visible, you can see on roads, reduction of traffic. Otherwise, what happens, even if you provide this metro, like 30%, 40% of the requirement, the clear cut, the visibility may not be there on the vehicle. Still, you can see like a crowded one.
my last question.
Yeah.
Today only I have read that Telangana government is proposing for a metro from Gachibowli to airport.
Yeah.
What is the progress? You should be in the things.
Yeah, actually, not only that, sir. Actually, the government should take immediate this thing from LB Nagar to airport. Again, Gachibowli to airport. The two places. This connectivity very, very essential, sir.
Gachibowli airport is 5,000 crores. They want.
Yeah, definitely. It's a costly affair, but long run returns will be there, sir. Under PPP or some other scheme, they have to implement, sir. Public-private partnership, because L&T also initiated in a similar manner, no, sir. So now they have to encourage, this connectivity, very essential, sir. That is the need of the hour.
Anyhow, congratulations. You have done a very good job as
Thank you, sir.
director of our Usman University Center.
Thank you very much, sir. Baburao, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir. Venkatesham garu is raising his hand. Mr. Venkatesham.
Yeah, Venkatesh, sir, please. Venkatesham garu.
Okay. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, evening matram best lecture bhusha ee endowment lecture record anukunta sir. More than 1.5 hours you have given, sir, with complete information. And statistical data, sir. మళ్ళొకసారి క్లాస్ లో కూర్చున్నట్టున్నారు సార్ నాకు మీ దగ్గర. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ. వాల్యుబుల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ యు హావ్ గివెన్ సార్.
Thank you for the opportunity given
Sir,
by the
hello.
Institution of Engineers, right, sir? Please.
Okay, hearty congratulations, sir. Really,
Thank you,
we
sir.
had so many
Thank
new
you.
things. We have heard so many new things about metro.
Thank you,
I happened to board the Calcutta metro, and I have seen the metro while in construction in
20s.
late 70s.
Yeah.
And I have boarded the metro also. First time in life in Calcutta
India.
metro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, really, you have shared so much of information. Professors means it is a flow.
It is a flow. We have to restrict the flow. Sorry, sir. Actually, if it were a physical meeting, it would have been continued for another 1 hour. Unfortunately, we are having this monthly
meeting, of course. Thank you, sir. Shyam Prasad Reddy, sir. Really, what I observed is I have given 4 lectures. So all 4 lectures you have attended, and Professor Babu Rao sir attended. All really, you are showing a lot of interest towards this. Definitely, the Telangana chapter really conducting many endowment lectures and other lectures very frequently, and inviting different kinds of speakers. Great kind of job. No doubt in it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Thank you, for the wonderful and very exhaustive and know what to describe the lecture what we have given on the metro rail important of Indian cities and really size very pragmatic and as our member it would have given you 3 hours time actually, but for the communicating we have to restrict you. Sorry for that. And I hope that you will be continue to patronage in the events like this with wonderful speech of your about the metro rail stuff. And thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Any other member, please? Okay, right, sir. I would request our Honorary Secretary, Dr. Garu, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Chairman, sir. So, respected Chief Guest, Dr. Kumar Molgaram, FIE, Professor and Director, Regional Center for Urban and Environmental Studies, Usmania University. Guest of Honor, Sri P. Ravindra Rao, FIE, Engineer-in-Chief, State Road and CRN, Government of Telangana. Engineer D. Syam Kumar, FIE, Superintending Engineer, Designs and Planning Wing, Office of Engineer-in-Chief, R&B Department, Government of Telangana, the awardee of today's awardee. Then Engineer B. Brahma Reddy, FIE, Chairman, IEA Telangana State Center, Professor Ramna Nayak, immediate past Chairman, Engineer B. Prasant, AMIE, Committee Member, IEA Telangana State Center, and Convener of today's event, past Chairman, Council Members, past Honorary Secretaries, members of Telangana State Center Committee, distinguished guests, family members of Engineer Koka, Krishna Mohan Rao, representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I convey our sincere and profound thanks to Dr. Kumar Molgaram, FIE, Professor and Director, Regional Center for Urban and Environmental Studies, Usmania University, for addressing the gathering as chief guest with his informative lecture. Thank you, sir, Dr. Kumar Garu. I also thank Sri P. Ravindra Rao Garu, FIE, Engineer-in-Chief, State Road and CRN, Roads and Buildings Department, Government of Telangana, for being the guest of honor for this function. Then I also congratulate Engineer D. Syam Kumar, FIE, Superintending Engineer, Designs and Planning Wing, R&B Department, Government of Telangana, for receiving the late Sri K. Suryanarayan Raju Award for the year 2022. I also thank the dignitaries, past presidents of IEI, past chairman of IEA Telangana State Center, past honorary secretaries of Telangana State Center, council members, committee members, corporate members, and others who made it convenient to attend this event. I also thank the representatives of media for going to cover this event. I thanks to one and all. Now I request all of you kindly stand for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे।
Thank you, sir.
Shall we leave now?
Yes, sir.
So thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Good night.